Okay, so I want us to quickly work on the delete functionality here. So we want to delete a conversation. That is one of the reasons why we created the modal component in the previous part. So we want to be able to delete a conversation, right? So how do we do that? Now, how we are going to be able to delete a conversation is not complicated like that. The first thing you're quickly going to do is we want to create our routes that will basically help us delete the conversation. And what we want to do is we want to go to the API here. We go to the conversation, we go to the conversation ID, and we already have /scene, and this scene here, the route.tsx belongs to the scene over here, but we want the route that belongs to this conversation ID. So let's make sure that this one has been selected like this, and we just create a new file called route.ts like this. Alright, so right after creating it, first of all we want to have our interface like this. So we say what I params like this, I params, and then inside we are going to have what's conversation ID like this. Alright, yeah, small s for the string, nice and clean. Alright, so right after setting this up, what we want to do is to quickly come and export. So we say what async, then we say function, and what then we say delete. So it has to be all caps. Okay, then inside we'll create this. Inside we'll say what we want the request parameter like this, then we set the type to be capital R, then request, then we have a comma, then inside this comma we pass in this params object right here, and then we want to set it to the type of what params what, then we set it to what I params like this. Alright, then right after setting this up, what we want to do is we want to do our try catch block like this. Try catch block, let's try to squeeze this, okay, so that the code can be more visible. So inside this try catch block we want to make sure that our error is the type of any, and then we want to come here and console log the error like this, so you can see error, but we are going to just come and write a text right in front of it, so we can recognize where it's coming from in case we experience any error. So we can say something like conversation delete error like this. Alright, so having this one there like that, then we can simply come down here. Alright, we can simply come below that, and then we come and return. So return new next response like this, then we pass in what internal server error, then we see what okay internal server error noise, then we see status 500 like this. Alright, so after defining that, what we quickly want to do is inside this try we want to first of all get the conversation ID from the params. So we say what conversation ID, and we are going to be getting it from where the params like this. Then right after doing that, what we want to say is what we want to get the current user. So we want to get the current user like this, and then we are going to say what await get current user So get current user, like this. Nice one. So right after doing this, what we quickly want to do is we want to check if this current user exists, and for that there's no need to come and write it again. We can just come here and scroll up. So you can scroll up like this and copy this nicely. You can just copy this and come and paste it here nicely like this. I think we can, we can just get rid of this and just leave this one like that. Then that should basically work it out for us. And what else? We are quickly going to come below here, and we are come to check for an existing conversation. So we say what existing conversation, like this. And then this existing conversation, we are going to await Prisma, and we have not imported Prisma, so always make sure you've imported your Prisma. So say what Prisma, and it's going to be Prisma like this. Then we are going to be importing it from where? At /app/libs /libs/ what Prisma db like this. And then right after that we say what Prisma dot conversation dot what find unique. So calm down. So find unique. Then inside this find unique right here, what do we want to do? We want to check where. Alright, so inside here we want to find it with the ID, and then the ID is going to be what? The conversation ID over here like this. Then we are going to include the user why okay, so include the user, so the user details, right? So yeah, that is it. Then we come here and then we can come and check for, so what we can do is I can just come and copy that, come below here, I'll paste that, then I'll see what in case there's no what existing conversation, so I can just copy that and come and paste it here. So in case there's no existing conversation, we can simply say the conversation not found, or we can also say what invalid ID. We could say that too as well, and then we can just set it to be what 400 like this. If you say conversation not found, then it means you want to make it 404 because like can be found, right? But if it's invalid ID, then you want to set it to what 400 like that. All right, so right after doing that, what are we going to do? The next thing is we want to be able to find the deleted conversation, or we want to be able to get the deleted conversation. So what we're going to do is what to say, we're going to say what const deleted conversation like this. Then you say what await Prisma dot conversation dot delete many. Then we open it up like this. We see what where. Then we'll realize that we need to be able to do it from where the conversation ID, the ID, and then the value is also conversation ID. And then right after we say what user IDs. Then we want to see if our user ID is part of it, or the logged in user ID is part of it. So we say what's current user dot ID like this. All right, then right after that we can simply just come below here and come and just return, we can just return what next response like this dot JSON, next response dot JSON like this. Then we have what deleted conversation like this, nice and clean. Now we could have just come to write this deleted conversation, but since we are working on a real-time chat application, and then it's something that we are going to be doing using Pusher, we need all these other things over here to prepare us for the future implementation, so that we can delete the conversation and actively see the effect in real time. All right, so right after understanding that, what we want to do is we want to quickly go into the profile drawer like this. So we'll go into the conversations here, we'll go into the dynamic conversation route here. I think so. Yeah, this is the profile drawer right here. If you like to, I could just search profile drawer and I could just enter just like this. Then inside this, so what I'm going to do is, all I have to do is I just clean this like this. I'll just clean it up, and I'll come and pass this one inside here like this, and I'll make it as a self-closing component, so self-closing tag basically. Then I'll make it what, confirm model like this, confirm model like this. But of course you're going to be getting error because confirm model hasn't been created. So what we are going to do is, inside this component here, we are going to create what, confirm model. So confirm model like this dot csx like this. All right, then we are going to say what, rafce. Then then it just creates it for us like this. We have to come back and then import it. You have to come back and import it from here. So I've been able to import it right here. We can go back into it, and then when we go back into it like this, what we want to do, or what we want to focus on, is we want to quickly come and basically come and create our interface, right? And then we receive the props to it. So we can basically come here and create the interface. So we'll say what, so we'll say interface. Okay, so the interface is going to be confirm model props like this. Then inside we are going to say what is open. So it's open. Then we set it to boolean. Then we have what, on close. Then we set that to void like this, nice and clean. Then right after doing that, what we want to quickly come and do here is, inside this confirm model that we have here, we can just come and see what, react.fc over here like this. Then we see what, confirm model props here like this. It recognizes it now, so you can just pass in what is open and on close, nice and clean like this. So the next thing we want to quickly do is we want to come inside the body here, and then we come and then we call the router from next/navigation. So say what, use router as suggested like this, and we have to take it from next/navigation like this. Then right after getting the router out, what we are going to do is we are going to say const conversation. Then we say what, use conversation like this. Then we come and say what, const is loading, set is loading. Then we would, oh, this has to be a state. Okay, so it's loading, set is loading to a use state of false like this. All right, so we have router conversation ID is loading and set is loading like this. All right, then inside here what we are going to say is, you're going to say const on delete. All right, so on delete we want to use this use callback like this. Then inside you can come and create, then we, okay, so that arrow function inside, then we come in and we pass in the empty dependency over here like this. For this one, actually the dependencies are going to be what? The conversation ID. So conversation ID, then the router, and what? The onclude, like this. Alright, so right after being able to create the onDelete use callback that we have here, the first thing that we want to do is we want to set isLoading to be what? We want to set isLoading, so set isLoading to be what? To be true, like this. Then inside here, what we can do is we can say Axios, so we just automatically import Axios, then we say delete, so Axios dot delete like this. Then we have, if you remember the route we just created, so we say what? API slash what? Conversation, right, slash, then we open up this, then we pass in what? The conversation ID like this. Alright, then since we are setting this up like a promise, we'll just say then dot then inside we want to take it inside as an extra function inside here. Then we say what? We want to initialize the onClose function that we passed through, and then right after we say router dot refresh like this. And we also want to make sure that we say what? Router dot push, because we want to make sure that after we have deleted a conversation, it takes us straight to the conversation screen, right? Because you don't want to delete the conversation and still be on that same screen. Okay, so I guess we have to put it inside the double quotes like that. Alright, yes, don't forget your S. Then right after that, we want to make sure that we are catching all errors. And then for this error, what we are going to say is what? Set is, sorry, we want to take the toast, so toast from React hot toast dot error, and then we'll say what? Something went wrong, like this. Alright, then over here what we can do is you can finally come here and then come and set isLoading to false like this. Then we are all set. Alright, so right after setting up your onDelete function like this, the first thing you want to quickly do is you want to come inside here, right, and then you want to come and import down the modal component that we created in the last part. So we just import that like this. Alright, then we just close it up like this. Then inside we can just pass in like a normal div like this, so that we can just get rid of that. Then inside we are going to say what is open. Then inside is open, we are going to pass in the is open that we have over here like this. Then on the onClose too, we want to pass in our onClose that we have over here like this. Alright, now inside this div that we have here, what we want to quickly do right now is we want to see what? SM flex like this. Then we want to say SM item center like this, nice and clean. Then inside we can come here, if we like we can even choose to just, so okay, we have to, it looks like we have to refresh our page. Okay, so the changes have been made. We can come and then open it up like this. You can see that it is showing here like this, nice and clean. All right, so now that we can see our model here showing nice and clean, let us move on. So you're going to quickly create a new div that is going to be having what, mx auto on small screens like this. Oh, so mx auto like this. Then that's not going to be the only property it's going to have. Let's come and say, so over here we'll say what, flex, then we set the h12, then width 12 as well, flex, so flex shrink 0, flex shrink 0. We have item center like this, we have justify center like this, we have rounded full like this, we have bg red 100 like this, and we have sm mx0, sm h10, then we have what, sm w10 like this. Okay, it looks like we are having, yeah, so let's remove this one from there, let it be like this, nice and clean. All right, so right after setting this up, what we want to quickly do is inside this div we want to send a certain icon. So we are going to say fi alert triangle like this, then inside we will send in a few class names. So open up the class name attributes here, then we say what, h6 w6 text red 600 like this. So if we come and test, if we come inside and we come and test, we should see it appear here like this. All right, now inside, right under here, right under this div that contains the triangle, we want to create another div with the first class name of being what, okay, so let's just create a div here, then we can now come and create the class name, then we open it up like this, then we say mt3, so mt3 text center, then we say what, sm ml4, then we say what, sm mt0, sm text left like this, nice and clean like this. Then inside here we're going to quickly pass in the dialog dot title like this. So inside we are going to take dialog, and then this dialog is going to be coming from what, a headless UI slash react, and then inside this dashboard we are going to take the title of it like this. Then what we are going to say is what, we want to set its first property to be as, so we want to make this an h3 like this, so we say h3 over here. So right after that we want to pass in a few class names, right? So the class names, so these are the class names. We are going to say text base like this, then we say what, font semi bold, okay, then we say what, leading 6, then text gray 900 like this. All right, Now that we are done with the title, we want to basically pass it inside here by saying what we say: delete conversation like this. All right, nice and clean. All right, so now that we've been able to set up for the delete conversation title, if we want to see it, we can come and see it by, okay, let's try to refresh so that we can open this model here. So we would see it immediately. It's downloading. So let's just continue. Right, so down here right below this dialog dot title, what we can do is we can just say what div, and then this div is going to be class name what, so class name is going to be mt2 like this. Then we are going to say p, so this is the paragraph tag. Okay, it's the snippet is not showing for us to use for some weird reason, so I guess I have to create it myself. So inside this p, we are going to see something like let me think of something. So I'll say are you sure you want to delete this conversation, right? Then we will see what we can add, that this action cannot be undone like this. All right. So we have this done right here like this. All right, so are you sure you want to delete this conversation? This action cannot be undone. Then right after setting this up, okay, I wanted us to refresh this screen, but I think because we made the changes, so it has come back to its previous state. But yeah, let's just pass in the necessary class names that we need to pass in so that we can see the nice preview of how it looks. So we can say what text sm, then we say text bray 500 like this. All right, then after this has been done nicely, you would see the differences. You can preview it on your side, but for some weird reason my PC and my project has started to become slow. I don't know why. All right, so you can preview on your side to see the changes. Okay, so we can now preview. You can see that it's here nice and clean. Let's take out the full stop, it makes it look weird, so like an essay. Right, so now that that is gone, we want to come to the last div, the one between the last div and the model, that space, and then we hit enter. Then after we hit enter, what we are going to do is I'll just say div, right? Then inside this div we are going to pass in a few class names. So what is the class name? We'll see what mt5 like so, mt5 like this. Then sm mt4, right? I'll just copy and paste this. Then I'll say what this one, I want the second mt here to be what flex, and then I want this, the last mt here, to be what flex. So I want it to be flex row reverse like this. All right, then inside here we are going to take the button that we had created, the button components that we had created before. So you are going to import it. So app slash component slash button. Then we can now, oh, I wanted to close it. Nice. So over here we can say what? You can say delete. You can say delete, and this delete is going to be disabled. The disabled property is going to depend on whether the request is loading or not. So you can see what is loading, like this. Then inside we are going to say what? Danger. We want to display the danger delete button, or we want to display the danger version of our button because it's delete. And then we want to say what? On click. And then this on click is going to execute the on delete function right here. Alright, then right after setting this up, what we want to quickly do is we want to copy this button and paste it here like this. Then over here what we are going to do is we're going to first of all say it's going to be secondary, and we want to, let's quickly preview it while we are doing the change. So you can see secondary, we made the second button secondary, and then we want to set the on click to on close like this. Then we set it to what? Cancel like this. So in our case, if we click on this triple dots at the top, the menu there, and then we have cancel and then delete. When we click on delete, it will run the delete function to delete the conversation, and when we click cancel, it will just close it like this. Click cancel, it will just close it like this. Let us quickly test out the delete functionality. I don't want to delete this particular chat, okay, but it looks like we don't have a chat with nice user yet. So I'll just say hello, hello nice user like this. Or yeah, I think we can, let's just delete this chat. Like, why are we still keeping this chat? So yeah, let's keep this chat. So yeah, let me just click on this, click on this trash icon, and then click on delete like this, and you can see that it is loading. Okay, it says something went wrong. What could have possibly gone wrong? So okay, so what I'm going to do is let me pause the video, and then when I'm done fixing it, we'll get back to it. Okay, so apparently it turns out we can't just delete a conversation like that because of the relationship that it has with the messages. So in order for us to be able to delete it successfully without any unnecessary issues, what we are going to have to do is we're going to have to include the messages here as well. So say messages, they will include it here like this. Then once we are done with once you are done including it, what we can come and do here is we can just come and then await with our prisma dot message. Then we will say what? Delete many. So we'll say delete many like this. Then we will just come and open this up. Then we'll say where are we trying to, or where are these messages that we are trying to delete, right? We want to check for the messages that have the same conversation ID as the conversation ID we are currently in, right? Conversation ID like this. Alright, then once the messages have been deleted, we want to make sure that we can delete our conversation after, and then we want to make sure that it's only the users that are part of this conversation that can delete it, right? So right after defining this, our function or our functionality should work. Our delete conversation functionality should work. So let us quickly refresh this page after making these changes. So we just refreshed the page, so I'll just click on the delete icon and I'll hit delete like this. So you can just expand, and yeah, so as you can see, if I refresh over here, you can see that it is gone like this. And if we want to create a new conversation, we can just come here, click on nice user over here, and we can say it's loading up, so it's compiling, so it's here, right? Then we can say hello there friend, and we can hit enter. Since we do not have our pusher, we are going to have to refresh, and yeah, you can see that it has appeared over here, nice and clean. So yeah, in the next one we are basically going to be moving on to the settings model. So hopefully I'll see you in the next one.